All right, everybody, welcome back into Inside the Game podcast.
We are a soccer nation.
Have such a deep appreciation for hyper-local, community-based, lower-level soccer. There's going to be millions of fans over here that want to watch and consume as much football as they can.
What you are doing is important. And this is all about, like I said, spreading the gospel. It takes a village, right?
No, I just really appreciate being on here and you being able to provide this platform for, us and all those people grinding away at the lower leagues, just trying to make great things happen. So I really appreciate you, and you guys know what you're doing. And
All right, welcome into Inside the Game, episode 325. My name is Ryan Glinsky. We got James Schofield, our producer, here in the building here today. An exciting one, as we've got a great episode. A couple of the World Cup statistics in terms of numbers and revenue and all that has now come to light. Even some of the USA numbers as well that we do want to get into. We'll talk about that. Mauricio Pochettino, he is making some noise here today, or at least this week at some point. I don't know exactly when it'll be, but we'll talk about if he's going to stay or if he's not. And then we've got one other thing. I forgot exactly what the other thing was. We do have question of the day written down today.
Yeah, I actually remembered it this time.
Yeah, we do have it actually written down today. A couple of comments already coming in. Fabian says, "What's up?" What's up to you too, Fabian? And Swiss Michael says hello as well. Hello to you too, Michael. What happened to Argentina? Asked Fabian. Well, what happened to France? I was told that France was going to beat Spain in the semifinals of the World Cup back about a couple months ago, Fabian, and then eventually Spain won the whole thing. So I'm curious to see about that. Which do again? Maybe we throw in a little Kylian Mbappe conversation to start off the show. Maybe just to ask the question to the people out there, because Fabian obviously is one of those people that loves Kylian Mbappe for whatever reason. I guess Fabian just does not like winners.
I like saying Mbappe. That's a fun name.
I don't think Fabian likes winners. I really don't think he does. But anyway, subscribe if you have not already, and also smash the like button. Again, let's try to get to 5 likes here this morning. I guess how did Paredes get mad at the Spain players? But no, let's talk about Kylian Mbappe real quick. Let's start off with Kylian Mbappe. I would like to just talk about. I just want to I just want to ask the question: Is Kylian Mbappe, like, when are we going to have the conversation about this guy that he just continues to not show up? No La Liga titles for Mbappe. No Ballon d'Ors for Kylian Mbappe. And then we've got no World Cup or Euros as the main guy at France. Like, Kylian Mbappe, for once, you've got to show up in a big moment. Kylian Mbappe, like I've said, he's not a big game player. Mbappe does not show up when Mbappe is like, the moment you put Mbappe, like, I don't even know if Mbappe is like a Batman at this point. I don't know. Like, to me, Mbappe feels more like a Robin than a Batman, if anything. No La Ligas, no Ballon d'Ors. His only World Cup trophy is when he wasn't the main focal point of the team. It was other players, Giroud, Griezmann, Pogba. Those guys were kind of running the show. He wasn't. Since then, he hasn't won the Euros. He's only scored 1 goal in the Euros. Like, he doesn't show up at that time. He hasn't won anything with Real Madrid. He hasn't won Champions Leagues. He has not done that at all, and he has not won a single La Liga title. And guess what? He's got no Ballon d'Or either. So to me, Mbappe, we've got to start having this conversation with him, because we've got to have it, because Mbappe, we constantly put on this pedestal, yet he has never gotten anything done. We've got to stop putting Mbappe on a pedestal, because he does not deserve all the flowers that we get. A lot of comments.
Before we get to any of the comments, I finally get a horn moment. Okay, I get to blow the freaking horn.
Why?
Because in the comments here, we've got Fabian saying, "I like James. He looks like the guitar guy from Nirvana at the moment."
Wow, that's a step up from Bieber Fever.
Exactly.
I'll say
I am moving up in the musical world, folks.
He's no longer the ass Justin Bieber who brought down the entire vibe of the World Cup halftime show.
Inside the Game smells an awful lot like Teen Spirit right now.
It does. I don't mind Nirvana. Nirvana's good.
I love Nirvana.
I mean, sucked that they didn't really have that big of a run with everything.
Well, I mean, by default.
Yeah, by default.
But hey, their drummer doing pretty well in the Foo Fighters, I'd like to say. Mr. Why am I forgetting his name? Steve Grohl.
Fabian, I could say the same thing about Cristiano Ronaldo and all of his Champions Leagues. It was all won by Di Maria. Paredes got into it because they asked what happened to VAR in Infantino. Gotcha. I will say, though, I would like to see Messi. I said this yesterday. I would like to see if Messi put his foot down a little bit on the team. Like, hey, guys, like, we are complete assholes. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, people.
Yeah.
Like, you're the leader of this team. Whatever you say on this team, whatever you say in the country of Argentina will go. Like, hey, tell your guys, hey, let's stop being complete scumbags. Let's just get out there and play soccer, man. Let's do that soccer. But like, no, shout out Chance the Rapper for that one. But he just like, if I'm Messi, the captain of the team, the leader, like, he sat there during the whole altercation. Like, I would have, against Spain, I would really have liked him to put his foot down a couple of matches into the World Cup, be like, hey guys, let's calm down, let's play our game. Maybe they really want that mental edge, but I really would have liked Messi to put his foot down on that one. Let's see here. JV, welcome in JV. He says, let me just refresh your memory. Di Maria won the 2022 World Cup for Argentina, so Messi didn't show up in the big show either. Did Messi or Di Maria have more goals in the World Cup final? Because last time I checked, he had 2. Di Maria had 1. And last time I checked on the field, like Messi took those PKs in the PK shootout. So Di Maria did not. So let's put that out there. Mbappe is on the level of Haaland and Kane, Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah, I don't think Haaland, Kane, or Mbappe will ever touch Ronaldo or Messi. I really don't, because if you're Kylian Mbappe and you might get to that level, like, dude, I mean, you have to have some better you have to have a Ballon d'Or or a Champions League before the age of 27. That is just the reality of it for Kylian Mbappe. He is not a big time player. But yeah, if you're let's get into the first topic, though. Was this World Cup a massive success? Yes, it was. And the USA should host just about every single World Cup, if I'm being completely honest.
Yes.
Let's take a look at just some of the statistics we've got here from the World Cup that I was able to find out this morning, and then we'll get into why. Again, this is the reason why this World Cup was such a massive success. And then we'll get into was it successful for the United States men's national team and all that fun stuff. Anyway, the U.S. men's national team broke records in terms of views. Man, I can't even see myself with with all the comments coming. Again, keep the comments rolling. U.S. men's national team broke records in terms of views from the for their matches. Again, 30 million, I believe, plus for the Belgium game, 25 million plus. I think the lowest one was against Turkey. Again, that game did not matter a whole lot in terms of the grand scheme of things, but they did break records in terms of that. Over 6.8 million people attended matches at this World Cup. Remember, the record for the most World Cup was, I think, about 4 million, I believe. I think that's when it was. And that was broken during the group stage. So 6.8 million people for all the people that bitched about, ticket prices, this, and that. Like, people don't want to come. It's too expensive. Well, all these people came out. And that's why 99.7% of seats were filled at all matches.
Yeah, Swiss Michael. I get it, bro.
Yeah, but then we had to do the same thing for Qatar. Like, had to do the same thing for South Africa. Like, someone around the world is going to get effed in terms of watching their team. Let's see. Dan, welcome in, Dan. He says World Cup will be in every continent. 2026 was in U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Next time in 2030, it is in Europe. 2022 was in an airfield in Qatar. So in 2034, it will be held in Asia or Africa.
I mean, by logic.
Is it though? I don't think it's announced about the 2034 World Cup.
No, using the logic though, based on what's been going on.
It all depends.
History.
It all depends who does this. It could be Italy for all we know in 2034, because they can't qualify. JV says real fans know Di Maria carried Argentina, so let's stop this nonsense about Messi won in 2022. We can go game by game talking about the refs, and did Di Maria in Argentina gets nowhere.
Can I just make a point here?
Yeah.
Because I see right here we go, you can't compare this World Cup to others. It was the first big one. Why was it the first big one then? What country was hosting it?
Because of this.
I mean, yeah.
Because I think everyone realized that, wow, we don't actually have to build all of these stadiums.
Yeah.
Because in Russia, South Africa, and Brazil, they had to buy all these build all these stadiums, and then all of a sudden you get to the U.S. and you're like, wait,
we have the infrastructure?
Wait, what do you mean all the stadiums are built? And
we have everything already?
For the people out there, we still haven't even gotten to the 100,000 seat stadiums yet.
Nope.
Like we had like honestly, let's.
We
just
haven't
say,
even gotten to the big house.
Like
all right.
we haven't gotten to the big house.
I mean,
yet.
that's a college.
They haven't gotten to Beaver Stadium, which is 100,000. They haven't gotten to Gainesville, which is 100,000. Like they haven't gotten to these ones. And just for the people out there, I said this yesterday, but for the people that may have missed the beginning of when I said this, the U.S. could, like, for a hypothetical purpose, they could host in 2030, and we still haven't got. We could have used all different stadiums. Like we of all the World Cup, of all the stadiums we had, just throw them out. Like, nope, can't use them. We got to use different ones. Like we could do that still. Like we really could.
Yeah. I mean, we're freaking ginormous.
2034 is in Saudi Arabia. Is it really? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That makes sense though. It is in Saudi Arabia. Okay, gotcha. 2034 or 2038 could be in South America. Maybe 2042 could be back in the U.S. They have, I guess the U.S. has been exploring an option to host in 2038 yet again.
Heck yeah.
So that is part of it. That is definitely, it could potentially be hosted yet again in 2038 for the U.S. I have seen that reports during the World Cup. We'll see if that goes into full effect or the U.S. doesn't want to host it again.
I would love the U.S. to host it again. That was fun.
Ryan looks like Justin Timberlake. I don't have any issues with the law, so I can't look like Justin Timberlake. It was because of 48 teams and 40 games now, not comparable. All of Europe can do that too.
Do they have the infrastructure to do that, though?
They have the infrastructure, but their stadiums aren't the size of our stadiums.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like how are they going to be able to accommodate that?
The only stadiums that can compete with us would be, I think, Wembley, Camp Nou, and the Bernabeu. Like outside of that, I don't know how much the Allianz holds, but like I don't like people.
Yeah,
realize
they'd have to do a lot to get prepped for,
like I
for
think
the
the
level that we had.
Emirates. I think the Emirates holds like 50,000, 60,000. That's like towards the upper echelon of English Premier League stadiums. And like Ford Field, which is not a big football stadium, holds like 65,000.
Yeah,
like that's just like that's like people
that's
do
a
not
modest stadium here
like
in the US.
I think that's. How many? James, search up the top 10 stadiums in the world. Like just in the world. I know India has one, and that in terms is in the top 10. And there's another country. That's
Are we going strictly by
just top 10 stadiums in the world by capacity? Just go by
capacity.
that. Just
All
go
right.
by
capacity.
I'm pretty sure that.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're in the top 3 here in Michigan. So here we go. We've got India with number 1. They do have 132,000. On there. We've got North Korea with 114,000.
Do we believe that though?
Yeah.
Do we believe that though?
I mean, it's 114, not 114,000. They added zeros.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm kidding. But number 3 is, of course, our good old Big House Michigan Stadium at 107,601,000. We've got Beaver Stadium over in Pennsylvania. We've got Columbus. We've got Texas. We've got Louisiana. We've got Tennessee. We've got Texas again and Alabama. So let's see. We've got out of all 10, there are 1, 2 that are not United States stadiums.
Do we really believe the North Korea?
That's true. We can discount that one. So we got one. One's bigger than ours.
Has anyone seen it? No, and you guys were talking about stadiums and stuff, and I think it matters because when it comes to hosting events like that, FIFA, their eyeballs are just dollar signs, and having more seats in more capacity means a whole lot. Like if you're looking at Morocco, Portugal, and Spain right now to host the 2030 World Cup, I think that there's a real shot that Morocco hosts the final because they are building a stadium that would overtake Camp Nou or the Bernabeu. So like and FIFA's like they don't care about history, they don't care about tradition. All they care about is butts in seats. Dan says I'm from Romania. Well, we've never had someone from Romania
Hello,
come in, so
Romania.
welcome into Romania. Next football tournament will be in 2028 for just for the Euros. 24 European countries, 6. I like this little setup of the Euros though. I do like the Euros tournament. I do like watching that. The final this year should have been in Mexico if you watch on stadiums. I guess sure, but with the U.S. being the main person to host it, Mexico was never getting it. That's just the reality. I think Brazil and Liga MX stadiums got over 100K capacity. How much is the Azteca fit? Can you search that up, James? Again, I'm making you search up a lot of things. Search up the Azteca capacity. What's that?
Yes. So the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City has an official capacity of 87,523. Which I should note is about 20,000 less than the Big House.
Yeah, so 87,000. So that again, how much did the it's MetLife Stadium. Search up MetLife Stadium. How much does that hold? Because they changed the name for it's just New York, New Jersey. That's probably 80.
82,500.
82,000. Gotcha. Gotcha. Infantino's gonna give me a job. Yeah, I mean that's just the reality of it. Actually, my friend, our good friend Sam Fisher, told me about that. He's like, I'm telling you, they're going to be in Morocco. So I got that from him. He told me about all that information.
I love the discussions with. So Sam's one of our camera guys here, and every time there's a game, and I have him as one of my camera guys, I'm like, yes, because I just love talking, talking soccer and everything during. It's so much fun.
He's a good dude. But again, let's continue to get into the numbers about this. I mean, the average capacity. The average attendance of all these games is 65,000 people, and that's up obviously compared to a couple other World Cups. This is the first sporting event that will generate more than $10 billion in revenue. They're reported generated over $13 billion in revenue, and obviously a big part of that is expanded field. You've got more games, you got more tournaments. That's another reason why it's an expanded field. And then most importantly, though, for the non-USA games, matches still saw over 15 million watchers. That's the most important thing, I think, from a USA perspective, because again, in 1994, people still every game was just about sold out. Like people still went to the games, but again, no one really watched the games on TV. It was all about if you were there in the environment and in the atmosphere, and that is what is new to me, and what we need to see is over 15 million people still watched other big matches. I think the semifinals were over 15. I think the quarterfinals had over 20 for a couple of matches as well. And the finals numbers are still rolling in. It was reported that 1.8 billion people watched the final across all over the place. But obviously those numbers are still rolling in as of Tuesday. Obviously the final was
1.8 billion.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and they said I think the World Cup, though, as a whole, got over 5 billion views, all over.
That is amazing.
In totality. Let's see here. Dan says Mexico Stadium Azteca is legendary stadium in the world for football. They're Maradona with Argentina. And also the hand of God was in that one as well, Dan. The craziest, what was it, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever it was. FIFA messed up for not bringing Ryan Glinsky, and I can't say that, for a game commentary. I mean, yeah, man, I think I'm a decent commentator sometimes.
I always tell people every time, I love it when you're doing it, because you could literally make a toddler match sound like a World Cup final. It's ridiculous.
I just get excited, man.
I love it.
I just get excited. Dude, sometimes when Fabian comments stuff, I gotta take it. I gotta read it before I actually read.
Believe me, I know. He's been getting into you about Messi though.
Yeah, I know he's been getting into it. That's why I haven't been reading all of them. That from him, but there's sometimes I gotta read the comment and then read the comment out loud, because Fabian he makes life interesting. Swiss, I don't believe 99.7% were filled. That's the numbers that I got here this morning.
That's according to FIFA. That is according to FIFA directly.
Yeah, that is from them. That is not. I didn't make up these numbers. If I did, that would have been impressive.
Then again, it is from FIFA.
Yes.
It could be from North Korea for all we care.
Yeah. As much as they hate us, they saw this year. As much as they hate us, they saw this year. We got it all. Stadium, food culture, etc. Give us 10 more years, and USMNT's national team will have a star on their logo. They hate it. They hate us because they ate us.
They hate. Oh my gosh.
That's a bold take, JV, that in 10 years we might get a star, but I don't see the U.S. men's national team ever winning a World Cup in 10 years. I think if we were to contend for a World Cup, we're probably looking at over three cycles, probably. I feel because this current generation isn't going to win it. I doubt the next generation will win it. We're probably looking at 4 cycles, so about 20 years. before I
Yeah.
think we could be like a true contender.
I mean, if we see some success from this World Cup kind of funneling into kind of helping soccer here in America, though, I mean, I can see though there's going to be some moments, I think,
Yeah.
in the next couple where we're going to see some awesomeness and we're going to see that potential for them to be able to take it.
But as I say though, I think if the USA were to ever win a men's World Cup, because obviously we've won women's World Cups, I think we have 3 or 4. I forget exactly. It should be. Is it? It's 3. I think it's 3 actually. 2015, 2019, and then the 90s. I think 99.
Yeah, we have won 4 times.
4
91,
times.
99, 15, and 19.
What was the first one?
91.
91. Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was 3. My bad. But no. I think I will always stand by this point. I think if the U.S. men's national team ever wins a World Cup, I think that the world will just end at that point because then the whole world knows that we've got football, we've got basketball, we've got baseball, and we got hockey now. So it's like, and then we get soccer, the one sport everyone knows that we suck at. It's like, shit.
I feel like if we get soccer, though, it's going to be like a big news report. Breaking news. Down in hell, there is ice.
Exactly. But again, we get to the point of, was this World Cup a massive success? Yes, this World Cup was a massive success. Again, we'll get to the U.S. side of things here in a second, but in totality, this World Cup was a massive success. The people that bitched beforehand, well, the bids, the host cities are getting screwed. No one's going to go to these games. Politics this, politics that, ticket prices. No one's going to be able to go. Well, then why did 6.8 million people buy tickets to these World Cup matches? Like, let's be real, people. I said this after the group stage when over 4 million people went to these group matches, and then they broke the record. And I'm sitting there like, so people wanted to go to these matches, so everything that we were bitching about with tickets, that didn't matter. Almost 7 million people went to these World Cup matches, whether you're an American or whether you were an international fan. Like, people still wanted to go. And that's what makes everything about this great, because everyone hated on it. And I think the most important thing about this is when, like, leading up to the World Cup, you look at 2010, 2014, 2018, and 2022. Everyone was concerned about infrastructure, concerned about how things got built, concerned about how people got bids. You look at this World Cup, and our biggest issue was people buying tickets and people who wanted to get into the games. That's our biggest issue. Like, I would take that.
And I mean, that wasn't even an issue.
Every day of the week.
It wasn't even an issue though, because everybody bought the tickets.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this World Cup was a massive success, and we also saw the fact that all of these different cultures from around the world and people coming to the United States were like, man, we were wrong about this place. Like, this place is actually cool. Like, I'll get you to that one. I'll agree with that one. Hydration breaks.
Hydration
breaks
no.
suck. But like and I'll get to all your comments here in a second before we get to the USA side of things. But I look at it, all the cultures coming together, and people saying like halftime show. I'll also agree with. Don't get me on that soapbox one.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of it. If we hadn't had the halftime show, they'd have no leg to stand on.
Maybe we should never host again because of the halftime.
No
show.
hydration breaks, no halftime show, no leg to stand on after that.
If they revoke us from ever having a World Cup because of the halftime show, I'd be like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We did that to ourselves.
Yep.
But
we
no,
deserve
like,
it.
and then people coming over to the World Cup or coming to the United States and like, wow, like we were wrong about this place. Like, seeing all the different cultures collide, and not even in the United States, also in Mexico as well, and into Canada too. Like, I think that was great to see the world come united for 40 days, whatever it was.
Oh my gosh, the videos of everybody just like
trying food, man. Like, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was
ranch. That's my favorite. That
for
was
some reason.
So
ranch.
that's my favorite memory. We were talking about favorite memory the other day. That is my favorite memory. Honestly, is the freaking ranch obsession that all the Europeans are just. The second they take a bite, it's like every single video. It's no different. Every time they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna try this ranch. I don't know why this is such a big deal," and then they're like. And and I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Okay, we're gonna get to these comments. We'll take a break. And was this a successful World Cup for the U.S. men's national team? We will get it, but no, this was a massive success. The views showed it. The revenue shows it. The amount of people loving this country showed it. I thought the games were great as well. People will probably be like, well, the World Cup final was horrible. This.
I thought it was
there was
pretty
like
good.
20.
Actually,
There's
to be
like
honest.
30 shots. Like, please.
I liked it. I thought it was a good match.
Like, it was great. The script writing was great. England choking, that was the greatest thing. We had great matches with all the Argentina matches, it felt like. England-Norway was great. Like, these matches were phenomenal all over the place. Like, this World Cup was a massive, massive
Dan,
success.
we agree with you, by the way. We do not want to watch Madonna.
Please.
We were there, too.
No halftime show talk here today, because then I'm really going to get pissed off.
That's
even
true.
more.
That's true. That's true.
Greg, welcome in. Greg, he says, we need to get back to developing that world-class goalkeeper again. That was our staple. I think when you develop an amazing world-class goalkeeper for like 30 years, I don't think you're going to hit all the time. Diego Costa looks to be a very promising young prospect at Barcelona, so we'll see if that one can get into it. Ban the USA from hosting a World Cup ever again, says Hornet. The numbers would disagree with you.
No matter what, let's be real. Money talks.
Yeah, exactly.
They made way too much.
If you really think about it, though, our league, it's literally the youngest of them all. It's about, 30 years old, so we started taking it seriously not too long ago, and a good old America. That's true, though. Like, we talked about it on the show many times, like, we have taken this sport seriously for 30 years. The rest of the world, and obviously that's our fault. I'm not saying, like, you should feel bad for us because we've only been playing for 30 years, but like I think that is a real thing about the U.S. men's national team is we've been taking it for 30 years compared to the rest of the world who's been serious for 70, 80, 100, something like that. 100 years. So hydration breaks I can get behind Hornet. Halftime show could also get around as well. Swiss. What did he say? Here to say that it wasn't the best of World Cup because of the Iran situation. Again, that's politics. I was also involved in another World Cup.
Yeah,
I forget which World Cup Iran and there's countries that are always beefing all the time. Like that is just the reality of it all the time. Like you can't stop political tensions. All you can do is put what's on the field. The pause break must remain 15 minutes, not 30 minutes like it was in the recent final. The European football fans don't want to see Madonna. Yeah, no one. We don't even want to see Madonna.
No.
And we're Americans. Never let football become Americanized. It's an interesting question, Hornet.
It was very Americanized in that final.
I would say I think you are seeing the game be a little bit Americanized around the world, and I'm not even talking about I see a South Park reference. I will read it in a second. I think you are seeing a little bit around the world with the amount of American owners that are owning Premier League sides all around the country or all around the world. So I think it is being Americanized to an extent. And I think that's just the reality of it because I think a lot of owners want to make as much money as possible, and Americans want to make a lot of money. So that's a reality of it. They want to refill beer cups ready then to watch the second half. I mean, I would want to refill my beer as well. So. That was weird. I don't know if people. So James, I don't know if you know this or people that are Europeans that are in the chat. You know how the NFL has been going overseas recently.
Oh yeah. I've been watching some of that Euroball too.
I haven't watched Euroball. It sucks. It's like, dude, their linemen are like 40 pounds.
I watched. It's fun.
It's horrible.
It is fun though.
But since the NFL's been going overseas to Tottenham and Real Madrid and the Allianz, whatever it is, but I look at it and those like Europeans that are running the concessions or whatever, I don't know the exact term that they use over there, but the concessions, they were in utter shock that like there's stoppages, like in a European soccer match or in a South American, whatever it is, you go down for the first half, you watch your game, you don't come up unless you really got to use the bathroom or something because there's no stoppages.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look at it and it's like, the NFL, there's stoppages how many times? So like that's like they were freaking out about that. Like, what do you mean we still have to be working during this entire game? You know, like that was a funny one.
Yeah. The South Park.
I love this show. Well, appreciate you, Fabian. This is like South Park. Swiss is Stan. James is Kyle. Ryan is Kenny, and I'm Cartman or the chef.
I mean, I could actually see Ryan being more like Cartman because Cartman like hates everything.
That's true. That is true.
Ryan, I think, is gonna be Cartman. Fab, you can be the chef, and I definitely, I am a Kyle.
South Park is great. No, there was one other time Iran and the U.S. played in the one time they played in the World Cup. I forget exactly what year it was, but they like brought flowers like as a peace offering. Dave, damn late to the show, and the first word I hear was beer. That's the Scottish shit, Dave. Swiss says he loves South Park. We'll get to your question, comment in the one as well. Dan says USA hosts well this World Cup tournament. The only problem was when Trump got involved in the football business and rules overturned the red card rebellion. Yeah, no, we didn't think it was right either, Dan, because I still believe that it was a red card to this day. I mean, you get the host nation whistle. That's just the reality of it. Again, don't blame Balogun, don't blame anyone. But James, real quick before we hit the break.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We'll hit the break. I thought you had something to say.
Oh, no. I was gonna say the whole thing with it, it'd be one thing if like you could see like a White House post or someone saying, "Oh, that was BS." Like, but no, to actually call like, dude, leave it out, leave it alone, right? But I will say though, I am happy for one thing because I was rooting for Spain, Trump was rooting for Argentina, and every game that Trump's been going to, his team that he's rooting for has lost. So I was very happy he was there for that.
Gotcha. All right, let's hit the break here. Don't go anywhere. 325 continues after this.
Welcome to the National Soccer Network, your home for soccer. One destination, every match, every moment. Built for players, powered by passion. Live games, highlights, and more each and every day. Only on the National Soccer Network.
The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. The U.S. look like they are truly poised for a dream run at this point. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. 21 and over, select state. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 and over in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. In Connecticut, call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. In Massachusetts, visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867. And listen to Orange Slices, sponsored by FanDuel Predicts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Great game footage starts with VIO. Now a pass deep and up front. With NSN, we can transfer your VIO footage into a professional broadcast. Elevate your VIO experience today. Call 248-525-2083.
Opportunity and a shot and a goal!
The National Soccer Network, your home for soccer.
All right, welcome in. 325 continues here. Smash that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you have not already. My name is Ryan Glinsky. We got James Schofield, our producer, here today. Swiss also wants to be Cartman. I mean, Cartman is one of the funniest characters.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Fabian also said smash the like button. Well, smash that like button, folks. Again, there's a couple comments that's going to parlay us into the United States men's national team talk. MLS should change and try a promotion, says Dan, for lower league and relegation from the first league, like in Europe. Hornet says that will never succeed. Promotion relegation could be part of it. U.S. has no clue of relegations in any sport. Dan, for example, the worst 3 or 4 teams relegated after this season in a lower league and from the low. Yeah, I understand how promotion and relegation works. I watched the Premier League for like 10 years. No, it's probably longer than that. 14, 15, I think so. Maybe, I don't know. Horn, I do believe Saudi Arabia is going to host in 2034.
Yeah, but they just called us a plum. We got called plums.
No, I understand. I understand how promotion relegation works, but the MLS was built as like the only league at the time. Like the league at the time, I forget the name of it. It was the one that Pele was in. The NASL, maybe? No, North American Soccer League or National American Soccer League?
Yep, North American Soccer League.
Okay, was that? Okay, yeah, it was NASL. Okay,
yeah, up until what, 1984?
Yeah. No, I do believe that was that one folded, and then the league happened in America, and then obviously the MLS happened, and the MLS took after the American model, which is a closed pyramid, which is like the NFL, the MLB, NHL, NBA, all that fun stuff, and at the time, like there's no other way, you know. But I don't think UEFA will pull out if the USA hosts again. But to your point, Dan, there is another league in America right now. Is called the USL, and right now it is the USL Championship, the USL League One, and then the USL 2. They also have USL Women's Side and USL Super League as well. But I forget the exact year, but it was reported, or I think earlier this year or last year. I forgot exactly when it first came out, but they are implementing and putting in place a promotion relegation for the USL, and that is in 2028? I think? You have to fact check me on that one, James. I forget the year. I think it's 2028, though.
What, for USL?
Yeah, when they want to promote Pro-Rel. I think it's 2028. Anyway, but they are instituting it at some point. Again, we don't know if that is going to be true. We don't know if it's going to be in reality of it. But again, there's two separate leagues, and the only way that you will see promotion relegation in America is if the USL gets this promotion relegation and it starts eating away at views of the MLS and starts eating away at its money. That's the only way that it is going to do that. What is it?
Found it. So it's going to roll out for USL. It's going to roll out in 2028.
That is one. Okay.
Yep. So it's going to be
so we're a year and a half away from that.
Yeah. So
wow.
We're getting there. We're going to have the USL Premier, which is Division 1. USL Championship will be D2, and USL League 1 will be D3. And they're going to be rolling.
And then USL 2 would be 4?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha. One of my best days was my hometown got relegated from the top league. Wow, why is that a happy thing for you, Swiss? But anyway, let's take a look now. Was this a successful World Cup for the United States men's national team? I think it was. I definitely think that if the Balogun situation didn't happen, I think it would have been a lot better of a World Cup for them. But again, most importantly for the United States, that's why Mauricio Pochettino was brought in. We'll talk about Pochettino here in a little bit, whether he stays for the USA or not. But I look at the United States, and it was simple. It was not to do what you did in Copa America, which was get grouped, get embarrassed at home, lose to Panama. That was also because Tim Weah punched a dude. That's also reality. And they lost to Uruguay. And then I forgot who they beat in the first game, some no-name team that I forgot. But this World Cup was all about not embarrassing ourselves. So I don't think we embarrassed ourselves on the field. Maybe off the field with the whole President Trump and Balogun red card. I think maybe. But I think on the field, though, and you can see the American people. I also believe that a lot of the American people don't really care about the whole Balogun thing. I think a lot of people that care about the Balogun situation are non-USA fans, because if you looked at social media post-Balogun, reverse of the red card, all they were talking about was Belgium was scared. That's all the USA cared about. I also want to put out there, I think the most, you could throw in any sport, but you slap a USA flag on someone or a team, and they're going up against another country, a lot of Americans will just buy in for that. The patriotism.
Oh, by default.
The patriotism in this country is insane. We talked about it. You could throw a grandma in a knitting contest, but the moment you put a USA flag on against
if they're doing a knitting contest for the American flag versus the other flag,
all of a sudden, people who could give two shits about knitting are like, let's go! They start buying into it.
That was a great cross stitch there, Jack. Great cross stitch. It's
weird, man. They buy into it. I absolutely love it. Again, a hockey casual as myself, you bet your ass I was on the edge of my seat for that USA Canada gold medal match.
Oh yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat. I don't know what was going on. I knew half the players, and I was like, oh my god, we need to win this thing. We need to win this thing. And it's awesome. I'm glad we won. But this was a successful World Cup, I would say, for the United States men's national team, because what I saw from the fans and the reception on social media and in the mainstream media was awesome. It's nothing I've ever seen before. I've seen obviously 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022 World Cup. I've seen us compete in 3 World Cups, and the media perception in all 3 of those World Cups was nothing what we saw in 2026. Does it help that it was in a home World Cup? Yes, it does. But the amount of fans that came out, the amount of views on in the World Cup on TV was phenomenal. But I think most importantly, what I saw in the Paraguay game and in the Australia game and the Bosnian game and the Belgium game from the fans, the reception of it was something I've never seen before. I said time and time again, John doesn't really like me when I say this, but he's like, it was just Paraguay. in my lifetime, I've seen us compete in 3 World Cups. I have never seen the United States men's national team lead by more than 1 goal in a World Cup match. Like, it's either been ties, horrible voice crack there. We've been up by a goal, like it's been 1-0, 2-1, whatever it is. Like, we've only been up by a goal ever. And to see that was great. Like, what do you mean we're winning by multiple goals in a World Cup match? Like, that's
awesome.
what I saw. And I thought the perception from like the fans, like in the Fox little game day that they created, like the whole point of this World Cup was to captivate the nation. And I think they did that to an extent. I really did. You saw it in Seattle. You saw it in Santa Clara. You saw it in the first match at SoFi. Like, the fans were giving these players a standing O. And all of these spots where like the crew was out on their college game day, the fans were all over the place chanting USA. Even at the World Cup final, you saw USA chants all the time. Like, that was just amazing to watch. And I also think with the viewership, over 15 million people watched every USA men's national team match. It peaked at 30 million in the Belgium game. You saw over 15 million people tune in for the World Cup final, or for the World Cup semifinals rather. The group stage match was up 92% in views from a USA TV perspective. Like, that's awesome. Does that maybe help that it is a home World Cup? Yeah, but back then no one was even watching it on TV. The only time you watched it was if you were at the game. But no one watched it on TV. And even they decided to play at the Pontiac Silverdome as one of the whole places for whatever reason. Don't know why they chose the Pontiac Silverdome here in Michigan for a World Cup venue. I digress. But I loved the perception of this World Cup from the USA standpoint. And the main goal now is to somehow hope that a generation of soccer fans, whether that's an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, whatever it is, they start to buy into this game of soccer. Because we've seen it in hockey already, the amount of people that want to play hockey post-gold medal match. But maybe they got moved by a Balogun, a Christian Pulisic. Actually, no, Pulisic was a bitch the entire time. A Malik Tillman, whatever it is, an Alex Freeman, whatever it is. Are they finally moved by that? Because the biggest thing of this World Cup was what was going to happen post-World Cup. Obviously, we'll see the quick effects, which is, how many youth players are playing this year in youth soccer, viewerships across the MLS, the USL, and then across the pond, how many people tune into the Premier League and all that fun stuff. But we will not see the true effects of this World Cup for another 5-10 years, because we won't know how good the U.S. men's national team will be. We don't know what extent the MLS and the USL will be. We don't know what that'll all be. But the short term is the viewership and the amount of people that are going to be playing the youth game of soccer. Then in 5-10 years, we'll find out truly how this World Cup affected the United States, because I do believe the United States men's national team made a little bit of headway in this World Cup. I really do, because look at the fans. Look at their results. The most goals they scored in a World Cup. Most wins they've had in a World Cup. They beat a European nation. I get it, Bosnia, not the greatest, but they still beat a European nation. They won a knockout game for the first time since 2002. And I think the fan reception, the mainstream media, what they did was amazing. I think that we can build off of this World Cup in 2026, and hopefully in 2030, not a whole lot of change will happen, but hopefully by 2034 and beyond, probably 2038 is when you'll see the effects. Hopefully we will find out the effects by then, because this World Cup would be an absolute awesome. If you think about it though, 2038 is probably when you find everything, because I think the 2038 World Cup, because you're looking at the 8-10-year-olds right now, they will now be low 20s, 20, 21, 22. You'll start to figure out, I think, in 2038 how much this World Cup impacted the play. How many people want to play the sport? How many investors and billionaires and millionaires want to invest in the game of soccer? And all if pro rel takes on in the America. 2038 World Cup is when we will find everything. We'll see short-term views, as I mentioned, but we will not see the main effect until the 2038 World Cup.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of your comments. Actually, James, do you have any thoughts on this at all?
Yeah, I was actually going to say it was actually a comment from JV Flores, and that was actually kind of what I was kind of on the path there too. JV Flores had said it's a slow process for us, but we're going in the right path. I just think not in the right pace. We want to run when we need to be jogging. We got the resources, infrastructure, culture, etc. And I think that, yeah, that's exactly right where we're at. And kind of what you were saying too. I mean, we have everything kind of in place. We just don't have, I mean, yeah, let's be real, the money, right? We don't have the big wigs coming in to kind of help fund everything after the World Cup, right? And I think once we get that, I think we're going to have all the building blocks in place. And then we can run.
Yeah, that's what we need to see is us to finally pick up and run with this sport. A couple of your comments coming in. JV says, this is the way I see it in 94 to bring soccer into the U.S. 2026 was for us to expose we have advanced and taking it seriously. Next World Cup is to show that we are contenders. # trust the process. Again, I don't believe that we'll be contenders in 2030. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, 4 years is a long way to go. I mean, there could be some injuries. Hopefully, a guy like a Matthias Albert, a Kevin Sullivan, a Diego Koshin, a Xavier Gazzo, those types of players, hopefully those guys can step up and be something in 2030. And also Christian Pulisic, Flo Balogun, those guys take the right step. I do believe Flo Balogun is now the face of the U.S. men's national team. It's the mindset of Americans. They always ready when it counts, no matter which sport.
That is true.
Well, we thought we were ready in 2026 against Belgium, and that didn't really go down very well. But I like the point there. Dan says, 1994 World Cup was the best tournament in the history of my national team. We had Hagi in that team of Romania. We eliminated Argentina in the last 16 round of 33 or 3-2. Dan, what was the World Cup that you guys went bleach blonde? You guys looked like Slim Shady.
I love that.
Yeah, what World Cup was that? Because I forget exactly what World Cup you guys went full Slim Shady on everyone, and I know you guys I think made it to the round of 16 in that one too. I forget exactly which World Cup that was. I think it was. I forgot which one it was. Again, successful World Cup, I would say, for the USA. Did it get hit a little bit on the Flo Balogun thing? Yeah, I think a little bit, but and
to the point with Balogun though, I mean, and then he didn't step up after all of it.
Yeah, no, he mentioned that like everyone like felt scared or whatever. I think that we should have brought Balogun off the bench. Now, because like I just think with everything going on, bring Balogun off the bench. That was because the moment you bring Balogun on in the second half, again, it's a 2-1 game at halftime. The moment you bring him on, I think there's your spark. There's your momentum, because all of a sudden the crowd's going to get, oh, shit, we got our best goal scorer out there. The team's like, oh, shit, we got the best goal scorer out there for us. So, again, I think maybe we should have brought Balogun off the World Cup. 94, you guys went bleach blonde. Okay. All right, I didn't know that. But anyway, let's take a step aside here real quick. We'll talk about Mauricio Pochettino on the other side of the break. If there's anything else you guys want to mention, we can talk about it as well. So 3:25, we'll continue right after this.
Great game footage starts with VIO. Now a pass deep and up front. With NSN, we can transfer your VIO footage into a professional broadcast. Elevate your VIO experience today. Call 248-525-2083.
Opportunity and a shot and a goal!
The National Soccer Network, your home for soccer.
West Coast Goalkeeping, America's largest goalkeeper outfitter. Built by keepers, worn by pros. Made for keepers who live to stop everything.
All right, welcome into Inside the Game. My name is Ryan Gludsky. 325 continues. James Schofield, our producer, in the building as well. Dan mentions he's from Romania. He says we have a Romanian player in the MLS. His name is Luis Montanu. Hopefully I said that right. Who plays a forward in the MLS, DC United, and the Romanian national team at 24 years of age. Yeah, no. Once the MLS gets rocking and rolling fully, which I think it'll be by Monday. We do have an MLS recap on every Monday from the weekend of the games that happened before. So, again, maybe he will pop up if he scores goals. But again, I have not paid attention. I know the MLS played last weekend and stuff, or last week, but I was not paying attention at all.
I was too busy with everything else.
The World Cup, the USLW stuff, and the USL2 stuff. Like we were way busy with that. But again,
we ran a gauntlet.
Yeah, we were. Let's take a look at the final topic for today, unless there's something that, might break or anything that happens during this time. But Mauricio Pochettino, it has been reported that he is going to make a decision here on his future with the U.S. men's national team later on this week. Obviously, he was brought into this World Cup, so we did not get embarrassed by the world. 11 appearances, 5 goals until now. Gotcha. Perfect. Appreciate it, Dan, on that one. If there's an MLS player at all that you guys like, you can always throw him in as well into the chat. We like the MLS. But again, Mauricio Pochettino was brought here to the United States men's national team to not embarrass us. We talked about it not too long ago about this being a successful World Cup for the U.S. men's national team. And I would say it was. And all this was to not embarrass ourselves in front of the world and not to embarrass ourselves like we did in Copa America. Copa America, we embarrassed ourselves. We had the amazing victory in the first game, a strong start against Panama, then Tim Weah punches a dude. We're down to 10 men for 60, 70 minutes, whatever it was. And then we lose that game, and then we got to play against Uruguay, and we lose that match as well, and we get grouped. And Pochettino, I think, is a guy who, again, $6 million a year, you had to pay heavy amounts of money to bring him in. And I think, though, when it came to Pochettino, I still think his heart is in the club game. I do. I don't believe he is a guy that wanted to be around the U.S. men's national team for an extended period of time. Again, his contract only ran until this World Cup concluded. I do believe he is going to go into the club game. I don't believe he is going to return with the U.S. men's national team. Swiss says he's going to go play street hockey right now.
Oh, Swiss, I'll be over. Hold on. Can we stop the show early? I'm going to hop on a plane. I love I used to play street hockey constantly. I love that. Well,
enjoy your street hockey, Swiss. Hopefully, you don't get hurt or anything. Hopefully, your team wins. But enjoy your street hockey. But no, like looking at Pochettino, I think he was obviously out of a job from PSG or Chelsea. I don't know. No, I think it was PSG. No, I forget where he came from. Chelsea or PSG, I forget. But I think he loves the club game. I don't think he wants to be an international coach forever. I think if he was in a spot where it was like Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp, where they've won Champions Leagues, they've won Premier Leagues, I think maybe he's a little bit more inclined to stay. But he doesn't have any of that. He took Tottenham to a Champions League final and lost to Liverpool, to Jurgen Klopp. He never won the Premier League with Chelsea or Tottenham. So I think that he's gone. I know that there has been an offer on the table for him to take the U.S. men's national team job going into 2030 and extend him, but I do not believe he is going to take that job. Even if he were to take that job up into 2030, I don't believe that he would stay the full 4 years. I mean, you would have to, which might be actually beneficial for the USA, because you have to have a contract buyout, and maybe you'd have to have a club have a massive buyout for Mauricio Pochettino. So again, I think that he's gone, and if he is gone, What are the potential candidates? I think it is two candidates for the U.S. men's national team job, and that's it. I think it's B.J. Callahan and it's Pellegrino Matarazzo. It's simple as those two. I think Callahan is probably the more likely option. I think Matarazzo is liking what is happening with what he's doing at Real Sociedad. Obviously, he just won the Copa del Rey and helped them secure European football over there at Real Sociedad. Shout out Real Sociedad, by the way. Favorite Spanish club over there. And then you have B.J. Callahan, obviously, in the MLS. He has been an interim coach a couple of times so far with the U.S. men's national team. And the U.S. Soccer Federation has mentioned that they really enjoy B.J. Callahan as the U.S. men's national team head coach. Swiss says, thanks, guys. I'm a good inline skater, so don't worry, LL. Keep fingers crossed. Dan also says... Maybe we meet again in the UK. Maybe in 2028, Romania-Switzerland match. Who knows? That'd be cool. That'd be cool to see you guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
You guys play. JV, speaking of my United, they're trying to expand the stadium to 28,000 and make it weather-controlled stadium, but the state capital is opposed to it. Yeah, you guys are in a tough spot in DC. A lot of things have to go right. It feels like to get something like that done in DC.
Because they got a lot of. They have extra security hoops and all that stuff too to deal with, and the extra permitting and all that. Yeah.
That's I mean, maybe you could have just built the stadium in like Maryland or like Virginia.
I mean, usually Virginia, that's like the default because you just cross the river and you're there. So
yeah, so and then say DC, but like you're in a different state. So
yeah,
maybe you guys should do that. Swiss though says. Dan, that'd be great. Just sub to this channel. We will meet here again. Peace out. Well, Dan is already subscribed. Smash that horn for Dan. Again, we appreciate everyone that comes in here every single day. Dan, Swiss, Fabian, Greg, Dave, obviously, as well. JV, he's been here a handful of times. Hornet, who's coming here for the first time today. And then there's typically some other outliers that come in here every now and again and just yell at me because I'm stupid. But
that's very true.
We appreciate everyone that has come on.
Can confirm.
But I think though if I am Mauricio Pochettino, I might, because I think if I'm Pochettino, I probably would just not take a job right now. I would say, because right now you're looking at it, we're a couple weeks away from the Premier League starting. We're a couple weeks away from all these leagues starting, where I think if I'm Pochettino, I would say, you know what? I'm just going to take a little bit of a break because I do not want to take a club job right now. I don't, because you're not going to have that leeway and that runway into the season with those players and have a transfer window where you're able to buy players. So I think if I'm Pochettino, I'm waiting until that opening happens around the winter time, whether that's in December or, yes, when we mean the United States men's national team, yes, we need the United States men's national team. Yes, that is what we mean. And when we say USMNT, which is the United States women's national team.
Every time I see that, though, I just think of TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why, but it's the U.S. Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Makes sense, but no, I think if I'm Pochettino, I'm not even taking a job right now because you're going to be behind the 8 ball with this job. If you wait until the winter, you will have a January transfer window. You will have a what's the word I'm looking for? You will also have a little bit of the benefit of the doubt if your team is not performing from the second half of the season on, because you weren't the guy that brought in the players. You were not the coach that brought in that philosophy. So if I'm Pochettino, I think he's just gonna he's gonna say no to the U.S. It was fun while it lasted. Really enjoyed my time here, and then he's just gonna kind of just wait it out for things. Maybe take a little bit of a break from coaching football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, and then he will find that job in the winter months simply because, wait it out. Maybe the United job opens up with Michael Carrick. Maybe the Tottenham job opens up again. Maybe the Chelsea job opens up because they seem to be firing managers left and right. Whatever it is. So I think maybe that you wait a little bit on that one. But I do believe if you are going to take a managerial spot, I would take B.J. Callahan and Pellegrino Matarazzo as the head coaches of the United States men's national team going forward. And obviously, you want to bring in an American manager. I think that's a little bit of an overrated thing when it comes to the U.S. Well, we need a USA board manager. We need this, and that. Guys, here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you about it. We don't have a U.S. men's national team philosophy. We don't have an ideology. We don't have an identity of the U.S. men's national team yet. So why does it really matter if we have a foreign coach or not? Now, if you look at Spain, you look at France, England, Germany, having a bit of a foreign manager might be a little bit of a shot towards themselves because they have a soccer identity, they have a footballing identity because they've been doing it for so long. I know England has Thomas Tuchel with Germany. I know that's why people are so upset about it. But we do not have a footballing identity, so the manager, wherever they're from, does not matter to me. All I care about are the results on the field and what you do. I could care less where you're from, whatever you look like. Just get results. That's all that matters to me about it. But again, I think Pochettino is gonna head out.
And I gotta chime in with that too, like with the whole foreign, coach or anything like that. I mean, it's America. Like if we're talking about culture, I mean, right? Big thing about soccer is the culture.
Yeah.
What's the culture of American sports? We import people. That's just how it works. I mean, we're America. That's, you look at hockey. I mean, how many players are Canadian? How many players are Russian, right? How many people do we bring in all the time?
Yeah.
I remember whenever I'd watch the Olympics when I was younger, I'd be really confused. I'd be like, wait a minute, like, why is a Red Wing on the Russian team? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so it makes sense. I mean, it does make sense.
No, it makes sense. And I think, though, if there was a foreign coach for, our Team USA basketball team or hockey, we might take a little bit more offense there because that's obviously our sports. But when it comes to soccer,
yeah, I mean, we're importing the sport in general, right?
Yeah, it's not our sport. Where the other sports, are mainly ours. I mean, hockey might be a little bit more is more Canadian.
Yeah, but I mean, baseball, basketball, we invented those.
Yeah, so let's. When it comes to that one doesn't really matter. But yeah, let's get into question of the day real quick, and then head out, and then we'll be back here tomorrow for 326. By the way, no show on Friday. Need a little bit of a break from all the stuff we've been doing, and obviously, I mean, it's not like we're taking the day off fully. We will be doing all the the USL 2 playoffs for Flint City and all that, and all that. So yeah, no, we will still be doing stuff on Friday. Again, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube as well, for all of our up-to-date stuff. But yeah, James, what's the question of the day?
Yeah, so kind of going back, we were kind of touching on it kind of throughout, but I mean the money really. So kind of asking, will this World Cup help kind of get those sponsors that we really need over here to boost that American soccer, to get it to the point that we want it, to where we can run?
Ronald says Pochettino. Yeah, Ronald, that's a good one. Pochettino, I like that one.
That is a good one.
I don't believe he's going to be here. What I would say, because this is the biggest thing, and my name's not Landon Donovan, and I don't just say, well, it's a big issue. Well, Landon, how do we fix it? I don't know. When I want, how do we fix youth soccer? And one of the ways was regionalizing the sport, because I don't think people realize how big our country is. Like, the travel puts a big cost on everything.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think Michigan alone, that's the UK team right there.
Yeah, and one of the other reasons of improving it was hoping that there's a billionaire out there that got moved by this World Cup, and they want to invest in a soccer academy, or they take over an existing team already and they fund it. The issue on all that is a billionaire funding that. That's the biggest issue, because they want an ROI on that. And, investing in sports, and especially a youth soccer team, really doesn't bring you the best ROI. That's just the reality of it. And that's just where I think, though, when it comes to all of this, is I don't think that we are going to get that. I would really hope so. I mean, I think we said there's 900 billionaires in the U.S. or American billionaires alone, I think is what the number was. So maybe one of them just gets moved by it, or maybe they have an existing a company, and they're like, well, let's make this the Amazon Soccer Academy, or the Apple Soccer Academy, whatever it is. Maybe they do something like that where they keep their name and everything. Maybe there's a little bit of benefit to them. But again, I would hope that maybe that we can get some big sponsors to fund youth soccer or something like that, or fund the U.S. Soccer Federation, and then that trickles down into the youth soccer game. But again, maybe millionaires want to combine together, and they combine some of their and pool their money into doing it. But I just don't see a reality where someone sponsors it. I think definitely we'll see some sponsors for the U.S. soccer team, but I just don't see a billionaire wanting to do that. But we'd love to, obviously. But yeah, no, that's gonna wrap it up for 325 here on Inside the Game. Again, smash the like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you have not already. Stay locked into our social media as well. 326 will be back here tomorrow for Wednesday. My name's been Ryan Glinsky, James Schofield, our producer. Until next time, so long. All right, everybody, welcome back into Inside the Game podcast.
We are a soccer nation.
Have such a deep appreciation for hyper-local, community-based, lower-level soccer. There's going to be millions of fans over here that want to watch and consume as much football as they can.
What you are doing is important. And this is all about, like I said, spreading the gospel. It takes a village, right?
No, I just really appreciate being on here and you being able to provide this platform for, us and all those people grinding away at the lower leagues, just trying to make great things happen. So I really appreciate you, and you guys know what you're doing, and